So what I'm going to have you guys do, there's not going to really be any, I don't know, big deal homework here. I'm going to have you type the notes up for this particular situation. What I may do is I may actually even give you a little article to read for next week. It's going to be an article. In fact, I think I will do this, and it may just be an abstract. It's going to be an abstract and a little article that talks about multiple regression. Do you remember what the idea of multiple regression is? Drew, what was the idea of multiple regression?
Using multiple variables to pinpoint the prediction.
Yeah, using multiple variables to predict things. So I'm going to have you just try to type up maybe a paragraph or so summary, because when I do my acoustic lectures next week, I'm going to actually start with kind of just what you read and summarize from this as my teaching points for next week. Next week, for the class, it'll just be recordings, and we're actually not going to learn that much in the way of new statistics. I might show an output screen maybe of a multiple regression, but it's really going to be about talking about Cochrane reviews and other things, and more article based. And what I'm going to also probably have you do after next week is come up with examples for your final competencies. So let me share that kind of here with you as well. For your final competencies, when we meet for our face-to-face class 2 weeks from now, what I'm going to want you to come into class with is basically examples of creating data sets for a one-factor ANOVA, for a two-factor ANOVA, for a chi-square, and for a correlation, and maybe even a t-test. And you'll come to class and you'll kind of have these examples. You can show me the examples. Beverly, you can email me the examples, and then in the class we'll actually have you work with SPSS and do them. And then you will simply take what you do to home, and then you'll basically have 2 weeks to type up what were the steps and what were the statistical and real-world conclusions from them. Does that, Beverly, does that make pretty good sense from your end?
Yeah.
Drew, does that work okay for you?
Yep.
And Emily, does that work okay from your end? Okay, well, I'm going to stop the recordings here.